What is going on, you guys? It's that time again for another squared circle collecting chat thing. I think I got it all in there. I'm not
You
sure.
did. You nailed it.
This is episode 5.
Wow.
This is why are wrestling rookie cards so confusing? And maybe they're not. You know,
Yeah. I tend to think that it probably isn't, Garrett. The problem is that we're such novices at this that it may be confusing for us, but there's probably people out there that they go, these knuckleheads, they'll learn it, and that's all part of the process, right? We've said that from the beginning. We're new to this, so yeah, I think in time we'll get it.
I'd say, and I did some research, and from what I've seen, I definitely agree that we're novices, but it seems like even the hardcore wrestling card collectors even say that there's wiggle room for this is a rookie card. No, this is a rookie card. And
Yeah.
we'll get all into that here in a minute, you know, because there's magazine cards,
right?
Board game cards. There were sets in the early 80s that were mail-in only.
Yep.
And then, of course, there's the mass box releases, which you have traditional now, like your Target or Walmart or blowout cards or something like that.
Sure.
So I'll go into some examples of some of the confusion, and I'll start by sharing my screen here. So the first card, or the first guy I'm going to go into, is Steve Austin, or Stunning Steve, or Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, yeah.
So this is, I guess, his first card, the 1991 WCW Chromie G4. Now, this was only released in Argentina, I believe.
Yeah.
Have you seen this card before?
I've heard other guys on wrestling chats talk about it. I have never seen it. Don't know the history of it. It does look like the 91 Impel set, like it has the same layout. And, but yeah, I mean, Stone Cold's one of those guys that you and I have talked in the past off camera about different types of rookie cards that he does have, and arguments could be made. There it is. There's the 91 Impel. So it's got the same color. It's got that funky early 90s look to it. I mean, if that was distributed in Argentina, I got to think to myself, Garrett, that's probably pretty rare.
Yeah.
Compared to, you know, wrestling that's available readily in the US, Canada, what have you.
Right. And at the time of me doing this research for this video, or the time of us doing this research, there was none on eBay, you know, so I don't know how much these go for. I imagine it's probably 3 figures, maybe $200-300, maybe. I don't.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, again, supply and demand's going to drive the price on that, and we know all about supply and demand with some of the things we've been looking at as of late.
No doubt. So, like I said, that's his first card. So, Steve Austin, Stone Cold, whatever you want to call him, the actual person. This is his first card, I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe it's his first card. So, next, his first Stone Cold Steve Austin card is right here, and this is the 1997 Cardinal set, which is a board game, if I remember correctly.
Board game or trading card or something.
Right. So this came like in a box from what I've seen. And if me or Mike, or if Mike and I misspeak at all, just write down below and set it straight, because we definitely want to learn. That's the whole point.
Absolutely.
But I believe it came in a little box, like maybe the size of like a child's shoe box, and there was some dice in there and some board pieces, and then a bunch of these cards.
I know the backside of those cards look like a traditional type of trading card, the design on the back, something like a bicycle trading card, not as intricate, but it does have that resemblance of it.
Right. And then, so this is his first Stone Cold card, and then his first release that is from like packs or boxes that you can buy, kind of traditional, what we've seen, is going to be this one, and that's the 1995 WCW and that's Stunning Steve Austin.
Yes.
So we kind of jumped around 91 to 97, back to 95.
Right.
But if you wanted to get a Steve Austin card in a box or a pack, this would be the first one available in the 1995.
Yeah. The other thing I just wanted to add too, Garrett, I think if you remember, we kind of did some research probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I forgot about, there was a Stunning Steve Austin card that was available in a WCW magazine.
Yeah.
Kind of like the LeBron James when he was in high school in the SI Sports Illustrated for Kids. So some people deem that even be a possibility. I mean, he's got the mullet, the whole bit, but it wasn't readily distributed in packs or what have you. So there's always going to be pros and cons for every card there.
Yeah, and I didn't even think about that till you said it. I can picture that card too. It's on the top left page.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, I should have got a picture of that. So if you take Steve Austin, and the whole point of this wrestling chat is why are rookie cards so confusing? You know, Steve Austin has 4. You know,
right.
Which one is his rookie? He has the one that was released in Argentina, his very first card.
Yeah.
You know, his first one is Stone Cold, which he's known for through and through.
Yeah.
His first one from a actual product.
Right.
Can release, and then another one that's in a magazine as what is he in that one? Stunning Steve, right?
He's Stunning Steve. He's got the mullet, the whole bit.
You know, so that's what we're talking about. So confusing, man.
It's like, I mean, I guess if you have any one of the 4, you can say I've got it. Unless it's deemed no, this is it. But I think there's so many variables in it, you never know.
It's like, what do you have to do? Put like 3 or 4 asterisks next to it?
Yeah, exactly.
Rookie card it is.
Exactly.
So moving on to the next wrestler. This is a big one right here.
Oh, yeah.
Hulk Hogan. So this is his first card. This is that I believe. I could be wrong. And I probably am, because he wrestled for quite a bit before the 1982 Wrestling All-Star set came out. But this card, or this set, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but you had to mail in to get this, and then they sent you back essentially a pack of cards.
Yeah.
It was the entire set.
Yeah, 2 series. You had A and B from this, and I think they did the same with 83. This one is by far, like, this is, you know, if this is a set, if you're going after a wrestling set, I have to say this is the one. This is the granddaddy of them all, because you know, the cost is very high. There's so many rookie cards in there. You've got the first card of Andre the Giant. You've got Ric Flair. Obviously Hogan, probably the preeminent name in the wrestling world, just because what he did to put it on the map. And I think his real name is Terry Bollea or something
like that.
But I don't know if there's anything. I don't remember any wrestling cards prior to 82, unless it's a regional release from another country like the Stone Cold in Argentina. I just have no idea. That, I think we can all agree that that is his rookie card. However, in research, you found some other cards. Yeah, that's his first pack release card.
Correct.
Yes.
You know the year on this one?
That's 80. That's 85. Now there's Tops and there's O-Pee-Chee. Ironically enough, I released a video of this is how do I say this? When Garrett, you and I both started talking about our love for wrestling and what we got out of it, I told you flat out, I have 2 sets in my back storage room that I had a rummage for. And this was one of the sets that I came across. Mine, though, was the Canadian version, the O-Pee-Chee. I know it was released in Tops, but the O-Pee-Chee set, which actually has a second series attached to it that wasn't available in Tops. So, yeah, just the first ones that you could readily go out and buy packs of cards in 1985.
Yeah, that was it. So here we go again. You know, which is rookie.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's Hulk Hogan. Next is going to be Charles Wright. You might know him as Papa Shango, Kama Mustafa, the Godfather.
Godfather. Yeah.
It's and once again, it's like, what's his rookie card? And I say that not because this was released here and this was released here, because I believe majority of his was released through packs.
Right.
But he had so many gimmicks. I mean, do you go as far as saying, "Oh, this is his Papa Shango rookie card"?
I mean, maybe
Kama rookie card.
Maybe you do, because his character's changing, right? The character changes, then the rookie card changes. It's no different. I'm gonna say that if the Undertaker, when he wrestled in the NWA back in the 80s, if he wrestled under his real name, what you remember his name, wasn't it Mark Galloway? Yeah. So I mean, if he wrestled under that name, would that be his Mark Galloway rookie card?
I think he wrestled as Mean Mark.
Mean Mark. There you go. That's what it was. So I think you're right, Garrett, when you talk about the gimmicks. Everybody's going to have a different series. Not everybody, but a lot of guys are going to have a different series of gimmicks. And I think with each gimmick, you can probably attribute the first card of that gimmick as the rookie card in that gimmick, I guess you could say.
See, I definitely think that you're probably onto something, but if we put that into sports terms, which that's where kind of you and I's, and I'll use the word expertise loosely because we're
very loosely.
For me, I'm no expert, but it's like, you wouldn't have, this is my Warren Moon Houston Oilers rookie. This is my Warren Moon Kansas City Chiefs rookie, my Seattle Seahawks rookie. And then he played in Canada. I forget the team up there that he played.
He played for the Edmonton Eskimos, and he had a card released by a company called Jogo, and that's actually a pretty valuable card. So you're right. Like, it's who really knows?
Sit here and just like, oh my god, dude, just scratch your head like, what the heck?
Yeah, and I'll just throw something at you. It was interesting when I was a lot younger back in the day, and I started going through Beckett magazines. Beckett magazine always noted which card was the rookie card, whether it was his rookie card in a different set. That was okay, but now it seems to be, with wrestling, like you said, with so many gimmicks, which one is it?
Right.
And so, people are going to have varying answers to it.
So Charles Wright, that's the guy's name. That's Kama Mustafa. His first card is actually the 1992 German Disney card. I found the card, but for some reason it wouldn't let me cut and paste the card or save the
must be very rare. It's got watermarks all over it.
Oh my gosh, man. But the card was not graded, and the guy wanted, it was a bin, but he wanted like $400 for it. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's funny that you came across that, Garrett, and I just wanted to jump in for a second so the people know, because when Garrett and I prepare for these chats, it's always like, okay, we got this coming up. We want to talk about this, what we're going to talk about, and we prepare for it. Garrett does his notes, I get mine. And I have to say, when Garrett shared his notes with me, I was like, Garrett went to town on this when he found this German Disney. Because I was like, talk about dropping some knowledge. I was like, are you kidding me? I didn't even know this stuff even existed. So, props to you for that. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So the 92 German Disney, and then there's also a 1992, and this is where I failed y'all because I probably could have got this picture, a 1992 Merlin Gold.
Yeah.
Also of Papa Shango.
Nice.
And then what you're seeing here on the screen, this is the 2008 WWE Ultimate Rivals card number 64. And as you can see, it's with The Undertaker. And that's his rookie card with Kama Mustafa.
Right.
And then That's his first card as the Godfather, the 1997 Cardinal.
Cardinal.
You know, so that should kind of tell you we've only gone 3 wrestlers deep, and how important maybe this 1997 Cardinal set is for rookie cards. Because Charles Wright is a Hall of Famer, a WWE Hall of Famer, and so is Stone Cold, and both have rookie cards in that set.
No doubt. And let me ask you something too. Do you think that it's not out of the realm of reality that depending on who you like Charles Wright as, you can say that's his rookie card. If you liked him as Papa Shango, then that's his rookie card.
Yeah,
if you
man.
like him as the Godfather, because the whole gimmick thing can be maybe people didn't like him as the Godfather or Kama Mustafa. I personally liked him as Papa Shango. I just liked the gimmick and everything that went along with it. But, you know, to each his own, I guess, in this situation.
That goes back to the hashtag my hobby. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Exactly. What you want, man. And if you want to call that the rookie card, then guess what? In this instant, I don't know if anyone can prove you wrong. So
Right. Yeah, there's going to be arguments both sides of the coin.
Next, we'll move on to Sean Waltman, or the 1, 2, 3 Kid, or X-Pac. So what you see here on the screen is the 1993 Merlin card 158. And this is, from what I believe, I could be wrong, but what I believe is his first card, period, as the 1, 2, 3 Kid, his first wrestling card.
Yeah.
And then moving on next to his first card is X-Pac, is going to be the 1998 Cardinal set. So you can see the 1998 looks just like the 1997.
Identical. Yeah, no doubt. And the thing about, and with Sean Waltman, like the 1, 2, 3 Kid, that's what I remember him coming into wrestling as. You know, when he went to X-Pac and, you know, joined D-Generation X and everything, that's when he went heel. When he came in as the 1, 2, 3 Kid, he was a babyface, right? He was that little guy, that young kid, if you will, that came in and everyone rooted for him because he had some good moves, but he was so undersized.
Yeah.
And everyone just rooted for him, you know.
It's like ninja quick.
Yes, very, very. And you know, and that alludes back to another episode we did where some of these guys are babyface and heels. So maybe you can attribute that too as part of the gimmick. This is his rookie card when he was a babyface. This is when he was a heel. Who knows? Who knows? But
when he first came in as the 1, 2, 3 Kid, they tried to square him up with beef between him and Razor Ramon.
Yes.
And
yes,
I remember on his his little interviews that he would do, the terminology freaking can't cross my mind right now, but he like had the best manners, dude. It was hilarious.
Right. Oh, his promos, promos.
Yeah. You know what, Mr. Ramon? You might do this and you might do that, but Mr. Ramon, I still respect you. And I'm thinking like, what the hell?
He was definitely a lot tougher as the heel, you know, when he had to suck it and throwing up the X and stuff. But you're absolutely right. His politeness, being that young wrestler new to the hobby and having respect for everyone, and that was kind of his gimmick. Like, you know, you can beat me up all you want, but I'm still going to try, and I'm going to give it the old college try. It's like, yeah, gosh, geez. That was great.
So moving on, Mr. Canadian Cards, we're going to move on to Glen Jacobs.
Oh, yes.
You know who that is?
Several. There he is. Yeah. Isaac Yankem.
Yep, Isaac Yankem. He was also the fake Diesel, which we'll talk about here in a minute, and Kane. Probably most of us know him as, but I could not find a single card as Isaac Yankem.
Yeah.
I really hope one exists, honestly, because I personally would like to have one. I think it'd be hilarious. I did find some magazines and some photos, like signed photos.
Sure.
But no cards.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. He wasn't Isaac Yankem for very long, was he? Like that gimmick.
I don't think. I think it lasted like less than a year, or maybe a year, maybe.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, and then he went into Fake Diesel and obviously becoming Kane.
And remember, he was well, I don't know if you remember this or not, but he was Jerry Lawler's personal dentist. Like that's how they busted him in. Like Jerry Lawler, like I
don't even remember that.
To meet my dentist and blah blah blah. They actually did a vignette of Jerry Lawler in a dentist office looking into some person's mouth, and it was like, oh yeah, my dentist is going to come in, and this dude comes in, and they like zoom in on his nasty teeth.
Yeah,
and it was great.
That's fantastic.
So this is the first card that I was able to find of Glen Jacobs, the man. And that was the Fake Diesel, and this is the 1997 Cardinal set.
Yeah.
And this was right after Diesel, or what's his name, Kevin Nash.
Right.
Before he left WWF at the time to go to WCW. Remember him, Razor Ramon, they kind of just booked it.
They all left.
And I've read, and I could be wrong, but I read that WWF at the time basically made a fake Diesel and a fake Razor Ramon as kind of a poke to Razor
leaving.
Yeah, to them moving.
Yeah.
So I seen an interview with Glen Jacobs, and he was like, man, like I was this dentist, and they put me as this fake freaking gimmick Diesel. But he's like, I didn't think I was getting any freaking love as a wrestler. And I mean, could you blame him?
No, not at all. Not at all. So, and I mean, obviously, when he became Kane, it just blew up.
Insane. So
I'm wondering now if Glen Jacobs will make a comeback as the mayor, because he's the mayor of some town down in
like Tennessee or something.
Something I can't. Maybe it's Georgia. I can't remember. I'm sure some of our viewers will comment below, but I know he ran for office, and I'm pretty sure he won.
Yeah, he did. He
did win. So I mean, obviously a smart guy, and entering. Who knows?
Like one of the nicest guys ever,
and maybe potentially a future president of the United States of America.
Oh man, just choke slamming people to hell.
Exactly. That's fantastic.
Dude, you imagine going on videos like,
yeah, you see him going on a peace talk,
yeah,
or meeting with other presidents or kings or dignitaries from other countries, and you know, where they sit together and they shake hands. Like, how intimidating is that going to be?
Yeah, it was all good till he choke slammed the Queen of England. So this is the 1997 Cardinal set. His first card as Kane is the 1998 Cardinal set.
Right.
So,
and that's, I mean, you can tell there. So he went from 97 as the fake Diesel to 98 as Kane. So that lasted about a year. I've got to think Isaac Yankem was no more than a year or two.
Yeah.
Before that all went down. So,
and I forget the pay-per-view where they introduced where the Kane actually came out, because there was a long drawn out process to it. Bear saying Kane's alive, he's alive.
Yeah, exactly. And there was something about, they were like, later on were they not brothers? Or
yeah, they were brothers,
separated at birth. And
the Undertaker, the house caught on fire, and Undertaker left him there, something like that.
Yeah.
But I remember he came in, and Shawn Michaels and Undertaker were doing a Hell in a Cell match, and you can find the full story of this on the WWE network. Man, it's a very cool show. Nice. While they're in this Hell in a Cell, Kane comes out and like rips the freaking cage door off. And like Undertaker's face, like, oh man, it was good. It was really good acting, if you want to call it that. Like his face when they were like that close was like, like he's seen a ghost, you know, and you never see
Right.
any weakness in the Undertaker's face until that point of his career.
Right.
So I think that is all I have for these wrestling cards.
Right.
But I kind of wanted to talk about like maybe our top 10 rookie cards, wrestling rookie cards, in our opinions. Once again, our opinions, don't shoot the messengers. So if you want to kick it off, Mike?
Yeah. I think what I tried to do this in no particular order. You could do it many ways. Maybe it's based on value. Maybe it's based on their legacy in the wrestling world. So I don't know. I kind of, my list can be looked at value or just who they are in the wrestling world. So I'm going to start with number 10. And this guy is near and dear to my heart because there's a connection to Hamilton, Ontario, where I'm from. And that's from the 82 Wrestling All-Stars, Angelo King Kong Mosca. And this is just my opinion because, hey, my hobby, this is what I like. This is, everybody's going to have, there it is. There's the man. And, you know, he played professional football. All played in his entire career in Canada for my hometown Hamilton Tiger Cats. Guy is a legend in this city. Got into wrestling, and he's part of the 82 set. So he's my number 10. Number 9, from the 97 Cardinal, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think just Stone Cold's legacy in the sport is, I mean, it would be difficult to not put him in one of your top 10 lists of all-time wrestlers' legacies because he did a lot for the sport. Number 8 has to be John Cena, his 02 card. He's definitely, I mean, there's so many guys that have put wrestling on the map or brought it to the next level. And John Cena is one of them. Number 7, I'm gonna throw a curveball at everybody. The 1955 Parker set includes a card of Bronco Nagurski. Now, everyone knows Bronco Nagurski as a football player. He's got the 1935 National Chickle card. It's like the Honus Wagner of football cards, if I'm not mistaken, Garrett. And, you know, so he's got a card. He went into wrestling, and actually his son, Bronco Nagurski Jr., ended up playing for my hometown Hamilton Ticats in 1960 to 63, I believe, after graduating from Notre Dame. Number 6, from the 54 Parkhurst set, Gorgeous George. Did I talk about him in previous, about his entrances? He was the first one that had the iconic entrance where, you know, it was all about him, the pomp and circumstance and everything. It was, I think you can't have a rookie card without including one of those vintage cards in there, like Gorgeous George. Number 5, 97 Cardinal, The Rock. I mean, what can you say?
Rocky Maivia, right? Was he
Rocky Maivia? He was Rocky Maivia before he became The Rock. But I think that's when he was really just starting to gain momentum, you know, before he did what he did for the wrestling world. And then, I mean, he's probably one of the most notable wrestlers of all time just because of, you know, getting into acting and what have you. Number 4. Now, 3 of my last 4 from the 82 All-Star set.
Oh, wow.
Number 4, I've got Ric Flair. I mean, do I have to say anything? You know, limousine riding, you know, the whole bit with Ric Flair. Number 3, I've put in Andre the Giant. Although I was talking to you the other night, I did see a card from Japan. A lot of people don't know that Andre the Giant wrestled in Japan before he made it big over here in North America. And there was it. I don't want to say it was a card, but it looks like a photo, a little bit bigger than a trading card. And I seen one of those go off. and on eBay, and I was watching it, and I thought, no, that's just going to explode, going to be too costly. And it went for $202, and I'm really kicking myself for not grabbing that.
Yeah.
And number 2, I would have to say from the 91 Merlin set, The Undertaker. And if memory serves, that Merlin set, I think he's got about 8 cards in the set.
He has a ton of cards in that set.
And that could be alluded to again to what we were talking earlier. Which one is the true rookie card? Some people will say, well, this one is. No, it's this one. He's got 8 cards in that set, and that's where he first appears. And number 1, I would have to say, without a shadow of a doubt, is the 1982 Hulk Hogan Pro Wrestling All-Stars. It's just, if you're into wrestling, you know, I talked about Nagurski, the National Chickle in football, Honus Wagner in baseball. You know, I'd have to say, in wrestling terms, that has to be the one to get. That has to be the go-to. So yeah. How about you? You got a top 10. What are your thoughts?
I should have went first because you pretty much take more than half of my cards.
I know it happens.
So I will go through. I was going to go in reverse order, but I will just go ahead and go through the ones that you said first, and then the 3. You picked 7 of my 10, dude.
Oh.
So these are in no order. Top 10, 1992 Andre the Giant. No, 1992 Wrestling All-Stars Andre the Giant. It's not terribly expensive.
Right.
What is it, like a PSA 4 or 5? I think you can get for about $400 or $500. I think.
Yeah.
Next is, I can't believe you picked this one. Honestly, I was shocked. The 2002 Flair WWE Royal Rumble John Cena card number 7. That's a card I don't own, you know, but it's something that might be there in the future. That was during that 2 decades that I wasn't watching wrestling, was John Cena's, you know, time, and probably the 3 or 4 decades you weren't watching it, Mike.
Yeah.
Next, the
I'm not that old.
The 1997 Cardinal Rocky Maivia, which you talked about, and the 97 Cardinal Stone Cold Steve Austin. The 1991 Merlin Undertaker. I actually wrote down specifically card 40.
Okay.
I just like the image of it a lot more than the others. And I look at things kind of from an autograph perspective, like which one of these cards would an autograph look the best on?
Right.
And when, not if, but when I pay to have Undertaker sign a 1991 Merlin, it'll probably be card number 40.
Okay.
Next is, the next 2 are both from 1982 Wrestling All-Stars. It's going to be the Ric Flair and, you know, the freaking Honus Wagner of wrestling cards, the Hulk Hogan card number 2.
Right.
So those are 7 cards that you said. Here's some cards that you didn't say, which is the 1982 Wrestling All-Star Ted DiBiase, number 4, the $1 Million Man. We've talked multiple times in the past on past episodes. Probably one of my top 2. Any given day, could be number 1, could be number 2. Wrestler of all time. The 1993 Wrestling All-Star Jake Roberts.
Jake the Snake.
Yep, card number 25. That card's very, very hard to find. I mean, it's not like it's numbered to 10 or something and you just will never find it. And you find them, but they just don't come up very often.
And is he Jake the Snake on that card, or is just Jake Roberts?
Jake Roberts.
Jake Roberts. Okay, good.
Yeah. And then my last one, my 10th one, is the 1988 NWS Wonder Rama Road Warriors card number 30.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
I believe that's the first time that the Road Warriors were pictured on a card together.
Wow.
So I guess key takeaways from after listening to your top 10 and my top 10 is, if you want to get into this, you might want to invest your time or money into the 1992 Wrestling All-Star set, Series A, Series B. If you want a little bit cheaper, you could go to the 1993 Wrestling All-Stars. There's some good ones in there. the Sergeant Slaughter, the Jake the Snake Roberts. There's more. I just can't get to it right now.
Is Lawler in 1982 or 83?
He's in 82.
82. Okay.
And then the other set I would say maybe to think about looking into is that 1997 Cardinal set.
Yeah.
Those cards can be had really cheap if you're not going for the Rock or the Stone Cold.
Definitely.
I believe Hunter Hearst Helmsley, now you know him as Triple H, has a rookie card in there, and you can pick those up for like $5-10
for sure.
So there's a couple of recommendations.
I think the other thing too, with both of us having like seven cards that are identical, I think that kind of goes to show either one of two ways. We don't know what we're talking about, or we both are thinking along the same lines that if anyone's going to get into this and you're looking for a rookie card, I mean, we threw out 7 of each, and that's something we didn't talk about.
Right.
You know, we didn't talk about it. I said, I got my 10. You said, good, let's go and let's see what happens.
Or maybe the third thing it might tell you is maybe we talk too damn much together.
It could be because we do. I mean, that's just part of it. You know, Garrett and I talk quite frequently, and a lot of the times when we're talking to each other, it's about wrestling stuff. It just seems to have kind of taken over part of our hobby, a good chunk of our hobby too.
It is taking over a huge part of my hobby.
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of fun.
And I know in future episodes of the Squared Circle Collecting Chat and future Card Cutter episodes, I have some huge pickups coming in that I can't wait to share with y'all, but I don't want to talk about that. But next, we will go into our pickups, and Mike and I actually recorded our pickups since the last episode beforehand. So we'll go ahead and show those right now. There we go. We're recording. Okay, so this is the pickups portion of our show, and I got a package in for you that you don't know about.
For me?
For you. I bought something for you.
You did?
Yeah, so you could have something in the pickups section of this video. So, this is what I got for you, my friend.
What is that?
This
is it a deck of cards? I hope it's a deck of cards.
It's not a deck of cards. This
what is it?
Is a large lot of 1955 Parkhurst.
What the hell? You did not.
I did.
Why would you do that, dude?
Because that's what friends do.
That's amazing. You mean, well, no, actually, friends do the whole set. So that's fantastic. That is incredible. Wow, look at those. Who are those guys? Who are those two right now? That looks like the Rougeaus, maybe?
This says the Scott brothers.
The Scott brothers, yes. This is fantastic, man.
I was debating if I wanted to wait a little bit to do this video to see if I could get you a matching pair of the wrestling trunks like these guys have, and maybe you could wear it at the same time. But
I already have them. What are you talking about?
Look how freaking awesome these cards are, man.
Oh my gosh.
I'm actually looking at these for the first time with you. So
this is flipping amazing.
We're almost
man, you didn't have to do that.
Oh, it's all good, man. It is all good.
Wow.
Now someone's gonna have to do the set now.
Well, that would be me. That would be me. That's what I'm looking to do, right? We talked about that, and
so there
that's
it is,
incredible.
Man.
Wow.
So I hope you enjoyed that. So there is your portion for the pickups, for the pickup section.
That's awesome.
So that was Mike's pickups, and I don't exactly have a lot of stuff that I've picked up since the last video, but I do have quality. So I don't have quantity, but I do have quality. So I bought this from one of you gentlemen that watched the show. Joyce Grable was already signed. Very, very cool. And these paint markers, I was telling this to Mike the other night, these paint markers really, really pop on these paper cards, and that's something I've never seen before. You know, I deal with a lot of signed cards, and whenever it's a paper card like this, not gloss or refractor finish, I've always gone with a Sharpie, and it's always looked so good. But man, that paint marker really looks good on that. So very happy to add that. That's going to be another one down on the 1982 Wrestling All-Star set. So another one down. Next, kind of going on the female wrestling theme, Tiffany went to Target the other night and to pick up some stuff for the house, and now she looks for figs while she's at the store at Walmart or Target, and she picked up this Wendy Richter, which I think is very, very cool. We're not going to open it. We're going to keep it just like this. But Wendy Richter actually just did a signing 2 or 3 days ago, and they were signing this action figure. So I don't think I'm going to go down the rabbit hole of signed action figures, but then again, I didn't think I was going to go down the rabbit hole of action figures, period, or wrestling figures. But really cool nonetheless. And oh wow, I just now noticed this. There's a huge crease across the back here. But oh well. So Wendy Richter for you. And then the last, kind of the biggie for my pickups, this video is going to be, what is this, 2015 Ric Flair tops. I don't know if this is going to show up very well. I know that glare is terrible. I could have pulled it out of the mag, but man, that team bag is on there just so nice. So sorry for the glare. But Ric Flair, man, that is my first Ric Flair autograph. So that is going to be my pickups for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and we'll go ahead and go into the giveaways and all that good stuff right now. So that is not the giveaways. What am I talking about? That is our pickups since the last video, and I think there were some bangers in there.
Absolutely. Like that Ric Flair card you picked up is beautiful. It is awesome. And again, Garrett, I can't thank you enough for sending me those Parkhurst. Some people don't know this, but JT Triple Crown 24, because the border's closed and I can't pick up my mail in the U.S., he has agreed to hold my mail. So Garrett has sent that. At the time of this recording, JT has forwarded it to me, and it should be here. I was kind of hoping it was going to be here today, but it isn't. I know it'll be here by the end of the week. And again, Garrett, I can't thank you enough. That was just an incredible gesture. Really appreciate it, man. Really appreciate it.
Don't mention it. That's what shitty friends do, is buy lots, not sets.
Right. And thanks again, because now I have to put the other 100 cards together, so that's not going to be cheap. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Really, really hoping for that deck of cards. Sorry to let you down.
No, you did well. You did well.
Kind of along pickups, the pickup line. So we all know what this is. You know, we've all seen these shoe boxes before. But I bought this at a show recently, and this is going to be just for my wrestling cards. You know, I have a ton of top loaders that have nothing in them, brand new top loaders. But last night, my daughter, who's a pretty good artist, drew this on there for me.
Oh, very cool.
And then my wife wrote wrestling cards on there. So,
man, so that your daughter drew that WWF logo?
Yeah.
Wow. So very nice.
That's what I have, you know, when I put it on the shelf, that's what I have to see.
That's fantastic.
So I thought that was super cool.
Great job.
So for giveaways, this episode, we're going to give away this 1991 WCW Impel set.
Yes.
Now, I will tell you right now, this set isn't exactly going to freaking, you know, take your kids to college if you win it and sell it.
No.
The set isn't super expensive, but there is some very, very cool cards in here. And if you're a TTMer like myself, there is a ton of people that sign that are in this set. Now, one thing is I'm not giving away the set. This is a lot, okay? And I say that because it's about 90% complete.
Nice.
I just bought a bunch of different wrestling lots, and this was one of the lots that came in. So
that's awesome. That is awesome.
There's all kind of different people, and then each person has like 8 or 9 different cards in the set.
Yeah, so that's true. That's true. There's a ton of those, a ton of cards for almost every guy in there. And I mean, I think near the end of the set, I know they go yellow border, then they go to red borders, and then they go to green. Yeah, and then I think in the green there's Jim Ross. There's a few Jim Ross cards, the announcer. So
yeah, so there's Teddy Longs.
Very nice.
There's some. There we go. Some Jim Ross.
There's some cards. Jim Ross. Very nice.
Yeah, some Missy Hyatts.
Fantastic.
You know, so it's nothing to write home about, but we're not asking you to do much. All we're asking you to do to be entered in the contest or to the giveaway, it's not really a contest. Let's just leave a comment down below on maybe what are some wrestling rookie cards that you own, or maybe some ones that you were looking to buy, or maybe if you're not into wrestling, period, what are some that maybe you would buy if you were into that? You know, like who wouldn't want a Hogan?
Right.
You know? So that's it. That's all you got to do to be entered in that. So that's the giveaway portion, and then we will announce the winner of this on our next live video.
Yes.
There you go. So I guess the only thing I have left, the only question I have left here, Mike, before we wrap this one up is, so it's been about a month, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, since you first purchased the WWE Network.
Yes.
So I'm sure by now you've got around there a little bit and you've seen some things. What are some of your favorite things?
Well, I was surprisingly shocked, first of all, when you mentioned that you had it, because I knew it was available up here in Canada, but you know, I always thought like, okay, it's going to be like $30 a month. You said, you know, down there it was only $10, and I picked it up here for $13 a month. And I mean, it's just 24/7. And we have something now, and I just figured it out, and Garrett and I were talking. Garrett said, I have a smart TV, so does he. You can go to the WWE Network on demand and watch anything. You can watch old WrestleManias. You can watch documentaries. Like, it's just whatever you feel like watching that day. If you want to watch some wrestling, you can pretty much call it up. Some classic all-time matches. So it's really taken up a lot of my time. I have a confession to make that it has probably taken me away from watching a lot of YouTube videos, and that is by no means slight on anyone.
You ain't the only one, brother. You ain't the only one.
Yeah, like I just find myself like I'll get on there and you get hooked on something, and boom, next thing you know, an hour's gone by, and it's like, what the heck, you know? So I'm trying to divide my time between, you know, family life and the time I spend on YouTube, but also sneaking in the WWE, you know, for a good portion of that time. But some of the stuff on there, and I think we're going to have some probably overlapping ones like we did with the rookie cards, because I have told you some of the ones that I like. I think we agree on some, but for me, I really like the Stone Cold interviews, the Broken Skull sessions.
Yeah, those are
where
good.
He just goes one-on-one. They talk about matches. They talk about stuff that happened with kayfabe, behind the scenes, things you're just never going to hear. And I've spoke about this on past episodes where that's what really gets me. You can be as dramatic as you want. The matches can be as scripted as possible. When you see people that are real, that's what I like. I want to see the person, not the gimmick. I want to see the person. So Broken Skull sessions, WWE 24.
Absolutely.
We've talked about that. Like, just, I mean, they grab one person and just, what is it, like an hour segment?
It's like I look at it like it's like a documentary on a topic.
Right, but it's all geared to one wrestler generally.
Yeah, like a one wrestler at one event.
Right.
Or maybe two wrestlers like going against each other, like one match at a particular event. And they kind of do a deep dive on that.
Right. And then the last one that's really big for me is Untold. And it's similar to the Broken Skull, but you know, I mentioned it before. They talked to Edge and John Cena about their ladder match back in Toronto back in the day, and they're interviewing these guys and they're telling you how it is. Untold is fantastic because it's stuff you would never know unless you've seen these documentaries. And I'll tell you, the WWE Network, when you talk about World Wrestling Entertainment, it is so entertaining because you can watch whatever you want when you want it, and there's so much to grab your attention. I find myself going, oh, I gotta put that, I gotta remember to write that down and go back to it. So how about you? I know there's a couple.
24 was definitely one of mine. And Untold is actually one of mine too. And if I leave you with a recommendation, I'd say watch the Untold Undertaker Mankind Hell in a Cell Untold documentary. Insane, dude. They interview Mick Foley and they interview Mark Calloway, and it's just so good. They're not doing these interviews as their gimmick, they're doing it as the person. And it's just really cool, man.
And probably too one of the best all-time matches. I mean, that's where Foley goes from the top of the cage.
Yep.
And through the cage onto tacks, like great match.
And then the other one that I have that's different than yours is the WWE Chronicle. And I mean, it's kind of like the other two. I mean, to me, all three of these, the 24, the Chronicle, and Untold, they're all basically documentary series on different wrestlers, different. I think Chronicle has one like on WrestleMania. I might get this wrong because I don't know what WrestleMania is going to be next year. I don't remember the number.
Right.
But, you know, WrestleMania 35, and they'll interview like the big name people, and they'll interview like some of the wrestlers, like this is their first WrestleMania, and like the lead up to it, like, you know, oh my God, WrestleMania is in a week. It's my first WrestleMania, and they'll be interviewing the females, and I'm crying for some reason. I don't know why. I'm just so excited.
Yeah.
So freaking cool, man. And
it is. And like you say, it's you get to see the actual person. It's not their character that they portray. So you get to see these are real people.
Yeah.
You know, they go through, you know, all the trials and tribulations of life on the road and becoming famous. And like you said, their first WrestleMania and what it means to them. And for a lot of them, I think when they participate in their first WrestleMania, it's like they've made it.
Yeah, that's
what I mean. That's what it is. If you get, it's one thing to be on a TV or a show segment, but if you get into a WrestleMania for the first time, you have truly made it.
Man, that's the Super Bowl. It's the Super Bowl.
It is. Absolutely.
You have anything, Mike, before we get out of here?
And just to remind everyone, leave a comment, favorite rookie card for the giveaway. You know, we'll do a drawing for that. Put all the names in the hat. We'll do it very basic. And, you know, again, thanks for the continued support. I mean, I think our first video went off without any hitches. Like, we did okay. It was our first shot at it. And, you know, we had some views, and the last two, the views have been like over the top. And I'm just like really surprised at the support. And there's people coming out of the woodwork that they're not a subscriber of you or me, but, you know, and they're getting into it, and it's really fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that's actually what I was going to close it out with is I'm not the type of YouTube content creator. I use those words loosely because I just look at myself as I'm a average Joe that pushes record and end record, and that's what you get.
Yeah.
I don't really track how many views I get, how many subscribers. I couldn't tell you right now how many subscribers I have.
Well, it's a lot.
But when it got brought to my attention how many views we had on our wrestling chats, it blew me away. Because then I went to go look at the views on my past videos, and where I'm like double and tripling those. And I guess I'll give y'all a little bit of deep behind the curtain, if you will. Like Mike and I thought someone was up to no good and like buying views,
right?
Because we couldn't believe we were getting this kind of support,
right?
And so I'm 38, going on like 78, because I'm not very tech savvy, and Mike is
40, and I'm 40,
and I'm 40. And from what I gather, he's not very tech savvy. So we called up JT, Triple Crown 24, and we got him on a StreamYard, and he's like, hey, Garrett, share your screen and go to your YouTube analytics, go here, go there. And he's like, no, those are real views. People are really watching this. But I will say this, because we're 100% transparent, right? We have
nothing.
JT is like, but I will say one thing's weird is people are watching it for about 3 or 4 minutes, and they're like, I'm out of here. So,
they're like, who are these two knuckleheads?
So I think it's freaking hilarious. I don't know if it's our awesome thumbnails that are done by JT, or the hashtags that I use, or the tags that I use in the videos, or the title. But somehow, some freaking way, we're getting people here. We just can't keep them here.
I can't remember how long into the video, but maybe it was Andy. She blinded me with refractors opening when he came in with the belt.
I mean, he scared everyone away.
He might have just said, see you later. This is enough. So, but having lots of fun doing it.
Hey, but if you didn't get it from that, I just want to personally tell each and every one of you that are watching this, thank you.
Yes.
Mike and I started this just to be fun, to get away from some of the stressors that you see in the hobby nowadays. And it's only stressful if you let it get stressful, and it was getting stressful to me, so I wanted to get as far away from it as I could, but still collect something. And here we are. So thank you 1,000 times over for supporting Mike and I. We're having a freaking blast.
Can't wait to do the next one.
We still don't know shit, but
we're learning. We're getting there. We're getting there. And again, just to reiterate what you said too, Garrett, you're right. There was a lot of stressful things in the hobby, and there was a lot of rant videos and stuff. And we did this like, let's just have some fun. And that's what we want to do. We just want to have fun and enjoy ourselves. And hopefully you guys are too. So thank you.
Yes, sir. So that's that, y'all. So till next time, adios. Be safe. Bye-bye.